So today's lesson, we're going to look at how we expand brackets and collect like terms and those types of questions that we might encounter within the exam. So it's very important that if you haven't already, to make sure to have covered the lessons on expanding brackets as well as how to collect like terms when it comes to expressions. Again, we're still dealing with expressions, so we're not actually finding what the letter is. And it's impossible to do so within these types of questions. So all we're just doing is when we simplify it, writing this in a shorter format. So when we get these types of questions and we're asked to simplify or expand and simplify, what we're simply doing is multiplying out the brackets, and then we're going to collect the like terms together. Okay, so again, from our previous video, multiplying out the brackets. So how we do that is we multiply the terms inside the bracket by the term that's on the outside. So in this case, 2 upon a plus 3. I'm multiplying both terms a and 3 by the number 2 that is on the outside. So 2 times a is 2a, 2 times 3 is 6. And everything's positive in this, and when everything's pluses, it's much easier. It'll just all stay positive. Plus, then what's in the second bracket after it's multiplied out, 3 times 2a, which is 6a, 3 times 1, which is just 3. Now, when we get to this point, we then have to collect the like terms. So again, that's why it's important to have watched the video on collecting like terms, okay? So we can only add a's with a's, numbers with numbers. So if you remember, I use shapes to break them up. I'm going to use rectangles to break up the a terms. So 2a plus 6a is the sum that we get for the a terms. 2a plus 6a comes together to give me 8a. And for the numbered terms, I've got plus 6 plus 3. I'm using circles to identify those. Plus 6 plus 3 is plus 9. And if you remember as well, you can have a number laying down the side of the page to help you with these types of questions, particularly when it comes to positives and negatives. Now, moving on to our second example, we've got a minus in here, which we'll come to in a second. So again, we've got two sets of brackets that we need to multiply out. I'm going to multiply the terms inside the first bracket by the 4 that's on the outside. So 4 times 2b is 8b, and 4 times 1 is 4. And again, that's all positive, so it stays positive for the minute, okay? Plus, and in this bracket, I've got 3 times b is 3b, and then I've got a positive 3 times a minus 2, plus 3 times minus 2 is minus 6. So, just in case you need a reminder, when we're multiplying or dividing terms, if we multiply two positives, we get a positive. If we multiply a positive times a negative, we get a negative. A negative times a positive is a negative, and two negatives together gives us a positive. Okay? So if you need a reminder on that, again, that is on the video where we look at multiplying terms in algebra. All right? So here we multiplied a positive times a negative, which is why we get a minus 6. Positive times a negative is a negative. All right? Now, we need to collect the like terms. So for the b's, 8b plus 3b. So 8b plus 3b is 11b. And then we've got our circle terms. So plus 4 take away 6. So 4 take away 6 is minus 2. Okay? And that's our expression simplified, and that's our final answer. Moving on to our third example. Again, just like anything in algebra, a bit of practice is how we become better at it. So if we look at the first bracket, I've got c and a minus 1. I'm going to multiply both those by 5. So 5 times c, 5c. 5 times minus 1 is minus 5. Moving on, okay, I'm multiplying terms inside this bracket by 3. So 3 times 2c, both terms are positive, so it stays positive. So we get plus 6c, and then plus 3 times minus 2, positive times a negative, again is negative, so I get minus 6. Now I'm going to collect my like terms. So I've got 5c plus 6c, both terms are positive, 5 plus 6 is 11c. Now I've got minus 5, take away 6, and again that's where our number line can come in handy. If I'm starting at minus 5 and I'm going down by 6, that would take me to minus 11. Okay, and that is my expression now simplified, and that is my final answer. All right. Moving on to our fourth example, and it's just something to keep an eye out for. So multiply both terms inside the bracket again by 6 this time. 6 times 2d is 12d. 6 times 1 is 6. Everything's positive in this bracket, so it stays positive. Okay? Next bracket, I got minus 3 times positive 1d. So minus times a positive. Minus times a positive gives us a minus, so this is going to be a minus. So minus 3d. Remember, we're multiplying the terms. Now multiply the minus 3 by the minus 2. And again, that's just something to keep an eye out for, because this is where a lot of people trip up. They forget minus 3 times minus 2. Minus times a minus gives us a positive. So we get a positive 6. Okay? Now we collect the like terms. So the d terms, I'm using rectangles. 12d, take away 3d is 9d. Okay? And for the number terms, I've got plus 6 plus another 6, which is positive 12. Okay? So you can see all these examples, very similar in how they're done. Multiply the brackets and then simply collect the like terms together. The best way of getting better at these is simply by practice. I'll include some questions now for you to have a go at, and if there's anything at all you're unsure about, just ask and let me know.